Now I'm going to show you a really simple flutter sleeve. Let me introduce it on this little dress. I think it's probably the simplest little sleeve you could ever do like that. A flutter can be inserted also just from up here, which I originally thought that I would do, but it means that you have to put a facing inside, and that's simply not possible with what I'm doing here because I've already got it faced. So you can put the pattern in my sleeve pack in that way. I think it's actually really cute. It's a pretty big little sleeve, but it will stand nicely, and little girls tend to really love their flutter sleeves. Also, they have loads and loads of movement room. Now let's put on this bias binding here. We have side which was shorter than the other, and that's naturally the side that we are going to sew on. So we're going to put the slimmer edge here, right on here, and I'm just going to stitch this down. It couldn't be any simpler. It's really, really simple. You could also line this with a different color so you have a contrast. You could also do that. Put it right into the edge here, and then just fold it over and sew. That's it. So simple. I've never made flutter sleeves before. This is because people have said they really like them. I think there's a lot more you can do that, so I will do some more videos on flutter sleeves. You know, different options of what you can do with them. For example, you could make this piece longer by splitting it in different areas. You could also make it slimmer to the side. The idea here is that when you put your flutter sleeve in, it will actually disappear around there in the armhole, but you do then have to have a facing like I just said, and that we really didn't want to do here because it's already very thick. I'm just going to sew over the edge here. The right and the wrong side of this fabric is exactly the same, so you can't go wrong either with putting them back to front. I'm just going to overlock this just to one side, and then I can iron it to one side. Doesn't matter which, as long as it's the opposite side to the sleeve, because I've also done that in one, haven't I? So what I can do here is just have it run the opposite side so it's nice and thin. And now I want to quickly put my gather threads in, and we now know how that works, so we're not showing that again. But I'm starting my gather threads from about here and here. It's about 4 centimeters in. I don't want that to be gathered before that. Stitch length to 4.5, and I'm going to just, oopsie, make sure that it's gathered in the same way as that one, really. So I know my gathers kind of stop here and there. I'm going to put a pin in here so I know, aha, that's the point to which I want to gather on this side, and on the back it actually stops up here. So I'm going to put another pin in there so I don't have them looking uneven. And now we do the same as you do with any sleeve. You just stick that on. There we go. Make sure that the seam allowances go opposite way. Pull this to the inside and then put a vertical pin to the seam in here. I might do another one so it doesn't fold over. I go to the top where I've marked my sleeve head. There we go. Up there. Put that on top of each other. And what I'm going to do now is just pull this, the threads that are underneath, just the bobbin threads, to sit up there, and see where that gets me to. I'm also going to pin in flat, as you would with any other sleeve, at the lower end where it comes around the arm. You really don't want that to be gathered at all. And I do the same on the other side. I'm going to pin this in. So I just have to pull this until it fits in the gap. That looks good. Yep, there we go. And if I wanted to, I could now secure it. It's the same as always with that figure of 8. Just wrap that round. Doody-doo. And then I take another pin. I can just like distribute them a little bit. You could do it on the sewing machine, but it's such a small space. I just do it here and put a pin in. Can help it out a bit when I get on the sewing machine. And this part here needs to be gathered to about there, so I'm going to go down there. There we are. Actually going to move a few over. I wouldn't get, you know, overly vicious with where's my sleeve head, because to be honest, doesn't matter. As long as they're even Steven, that's fine. So I'm going to just take this out and have a look on my back. And on the front, I'm going to compare these as well. Front looks okay. So now I can sew these in. I'm going to sew all the way around, and I'm going to arrange them a little bit nicer as I go along, as I did before on any other sleeve. So come here, baby. And let's go. I'm starting on a bit that is flat because that's the easiest. Blocking my stitches. Oh, back down to 2.5 and around we go. I'm also only putting this in foot width. There we go. And now I can take this pin out, and you can see that this is uneven. I always have the same technique where I'm just distributing them as I go. I'm just distributing them as I go. Flutter sleeves done. All I need to do is take my pins out and overlock it. Make sure that there's no pins left in here before I go on the overlocker. Very good. And also what you might want to do is just check them quickly for yourself. Make sure that they look the same and that one doesn't look like terribly different to the other one. So yeah, that looks okay to me. Yep, back's good as well. Excellent. So I'm going to overlock that now, and then we're going to do something that we don't normally do, and that is we're going to press them from the outside. With a flutter sleeve, you are allowed to do that. Any other sleeve, of course, you're not. Make sure it's nice and flat underneath. Now you can do it. I've done it on this side already to make it look a little bit more fluttery going out to that side. Otherwise they're going to stand up in the air like straight like that, which is not really what you want. So take your iron and just gently get them down a bit so they're not, you know, look too much like something I do a fierce thriller. There we go. Just make sure that they sit nicely. Let's have a look on here. And little girls, I am told, love flutter sleeves, and I have been determined to love them too. So here we go. Let's just get rid of this little bit. All I need to do here again are my buttons, and that is my second dress finish. I think it's really cute.